what if everything does happen for a reason and things aren't happening to us, they're happening for us? And whatever challenges, pain points, shitty situations one is dealing with, what if those come to us to teach us things and to shape us and to help us see things we're either avoiding or not seeing? Or basically, how can we let the moment teach us more and see that any negative circumstances, anything we didn't see coming, anything that's not working out for us, or like we're not getting what we want, what if we can let the moment be the teaching and see that these things are happening for us? I'll explain what I mean by that. We'll go a little deeper into this. Welcome back to the channel, by the way. This is Sarah, Ancient Esoterica. Happy to have you here. If you're new here, we talk about all sorts of fun stuff. Check out the other videos. But so, what if the moment is the teaching? What if challenges leave us when they're done teaching us and when we have learned and embodied the lessons that these things are here to teach us? These have been things that I've been really contemplating lately, especially as I have, and all of the people around me, like everybody I have talked to, has been going through it. And I'm not saying this to be in this like, oh, we're all suffering, everything sucks, but like we have all been tested throughout the month of July 2026. And I'm not gonna lie, the astrologers saw it coming. Like, I knew July was going to be a fucking crazy month since like January. My intuition was spotlighting it. All of the astrologers were talking about these very intense transits, very powerful transits. And this isn't to convey any like fear. Like I don't want to like, convey any of that, because there has been a lot of fear surrounding a lot of these transits. And that happens when things are out of our control. And it's something that I feel like all of us humans struggle with, especially a girl. I hate not feeling like I have control, because there have been so many circumstances that have been out of my control that have caused me immense harm. So it's like a self-preservation and protection mechanism to like want to maintain control. And a lot of these energies and these situations we found ourselves in throughout the month of July, or even just the past 6 months or so, have been so out of our control. And so like, hey, buddy, you need to look at this whether you like it or not. And that has been so uncomfortable. And it's like, we always want to double down on like the avoidance strategies and the coping mechanisms and like, just smoke it away, drink it away, run it away, whatever. But it's like, these past couple weeks and months, we haven't been able to avoid this shit. Like, no matter how hard we've tried. It's like, yeah, you're in it, buddy, and you're in it until you figure it out. But being on the other side of a lot of these challenges that have challenged me my entire life, like things that have driven me into severe suicidal ideations, things that have just fucking destroyed me from the inside out, I am now realizing that these things have been happening for a reason and have been happening for me, not to me, so that I can grow into greater potentials, so that I can cultivate greater understanding and just evolve and become, higher and higher versions of myself. Because like, plot twist, we're not really supposed to stay the same forever. Like, we're not really supposed to just be a cog in the machine, like saying the same things day after day after day after day after day. Like, that's not to discount, like the feelings of security and stability we feel from routines and from, a structured path. But like, we are all meant to grow and evolve. Like, our freaking taste preferences. Like, do we like coffee or do we like matcha? I don't know. You're not always supposed to like matcha. Sometimes you're gonna like coffee. And this is just something that I have struggled with personally, so I'm bringing it up because I have found such security from sameness, from like eating the same foods, getting the same drink, having the same friends, being the same as people. Like, I'll always, when I'm talking to people, find some similarity instead of owning my differences and honoring my differences. And that is kind of why I see this one lesson, one of many, has been such a gift, because through the lessons and through the challenges of like changing myself to conform, or like kind of denying my intuition and denying my body in favor of this sameness. Like, oh, I always eat this for breakfast, so I'm going to continue doing that, when my body is calling me to something different. And so I feel like that is, anyway, we'll leave that there. One of the main things that I've been realizing today is I have had a lot of challenges with family and with just growing up, not really having enough, not being in a super high class family. My dad was very wealthy when we were young, but then he lost his business and shit hit the fan, and one thing led to another, and just a bunch of shit happened. And my mom's been a single mom her whole life. She's been on drugs, off drugs. She's gotten sober. She's been through so much. But basically what I have learned is, despite all these shitty circumstances, everybody is doing the best they can with what they've got. And I have seen that the betrayals and the way I was treated by parents, by friends, by whatever when I was younger, right? The key is, a lot of these things that I have been working through are these imprints on my consciousness and on my psyche that are rooted in this younger version of myself. Now, I'll explain a little deeper. So when we're young, we're kind of these little narcissists, because we think the world revolves around us, everything's provided to us, as kids. Our parents are God. They give us food, they give us money, they give us fun plans. They are God. And when our parents can't give us what we need, or stop giving us what we need, or cut us off, or whatever, circumstances change, as a young person, we internalize that and we think, oh, it's my fault. I caused this. They don't like me. They don't love me anymore. All that shit is what kind of runs through our minds as kids. And we hole ourselves into depression. We get anxiety disorders. We get panic disorders, OCD, whatever sort of mental fucking shit comes from that. And what I really believe happens in these situations is we isolate our consciousness in the mind when we experience these challenges that fuck with our survival, like having food taken away, not having enough to eat, not having adequate resources, not having a good safe place to sleep, whatever. When our survival's fucked with, consciousness isolates to the mind to try to figure it out, to try to solve the problem. But sometimes these problems aren't meant to be solved when they're happening. So for example, back in the day, in 2008 or so, some things happened, circumstances changed. My dad lost his company and we had a major, change in a financial situation. And so I wasn't always given money for lunch. I wasn't always cooked exactly what I wanted to eat. There wasn't always soda in the fridge when I was a kid. There was iced tea and water and Tang, whatever. But so my inner child and in my survival mechanisms, because as a teenager, I'm just so you want to just eat. You eat so much when you're a teenager, and not having enough to eat fucks with you. And it just, we're not going to go deep into the trauma and stuff, but what I have realized is that, I took this personally, and I took it as I was punished, I was betrayed, I was abandoned, yada, 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 I was abused, neglected, blah, 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 blah. But as an adult, and having to provide for my 3 beautiful kitty children, they're cats, but they're my fucking children, it's almost like the universe put me in the exact situation of back then when I'm getting my just stuttering, trying to find the words. Basically what I realized is my parents were doing the best that they could, and they didn't really have access to money in the ways that they used to. And it was a very challenging time for everyone. We had the stock market crash, all these crises, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. So in going through my own challenges and in seeing damn, this is actually how my dad and stepmom probably felt, trying to feed children, trying to keep a roof above our heads, trying to get all the bills paid for while trying to keep a company afloat, while trying to do all this, figuring it all out. And so in this kind of realization, it's brought me into such compassion, understanding, and it's helped me to reconnect with my dad's side of the family, because I held a lot of anger and fear and resentment and judgment towards them. And they were kind of playing that out with me. Like, they held a lot of judgment and fear, and like they would just put me down. Like, they just made me feel like shit, made me feel like I didn't matter. And a lot of this was the result of my consciousness being isolated in my mind. Like, my mind was just looping, trying to find a way to meet those survival needs. And the only way it really could was to like blame them and be like, they abused me, they hurt me, so it's their fault. Not that, oh, this situation was just a part of a bigger picture that's meant to kind of shape and teach and help all involved to evolve. Because I really see that the more I come into this understanding that like it wasn't personal, and like, yeah, maybe sometimes like my step sister got taken shopping and I didn't, but like it wasn't as personal as I thought, and I don't have to like be in this icky power struggle anymore. Like, I can just accept that like they just didn't really have enough resources. They were in survival themselves, so they held on, and it was kind of like an every man for himself perspective. And so as I'm going through this perspective shift and as I'm experiencing these circumstances in my own way, I really realize that it's a principle of all of life. Like, we often don't get what we want, but we always get what we need, always. So I don't know, let that sink in, y'all. I hope you guys are doing okay navigating all of these challenges, and this doesn't like downplay the intensity of these times and how fucking intense this is. Even people who aren't really in tune with their intuition and who aren't really in tune with collective vibes, they have been telling me like they feel very lost, they're so confused, they're so just like, they're crying all the time, they're manic, they're having panic attacks, they're going on depression, they're this medication, they're trying this, that, like, we are all going through it. And it's not because of like one thing. Like, it's not just because of AI. It's not just the astrology. It's not just like it's 2026 and we're like moving further and further into an online dystopia. Like, it's not just that. And it's also not just like, oh, we've been avoiding the work, or, oh, we've been this, like, it's literally just a time and a season for change. The nodes of fate have just changed signs. We've had the nodes move from Pisces and Virgo into Leo and Aquarius, which is changing our true north, and it's changing our direction. And so I feel like a lot of these things that are coming up, a lot of these challenges, these like pain points, these triggers, it's like it's time to finally face them, and we'll realize we are more than capable to face whatever is coming our way, because whatever is coming our way is there for a reason. Like, I wholeheartedly have doubled down on my trust and faith in this like benevolent conscious universe these days, because I've seen fucking magic happen in ways that like me, the mind, the little ego, could never have like understood or fathomed or created myself. Like, there is some higher fucking intelligence and force going on here, and it fucking loves us, and it only wants what's best for us, and like, call it fucking spirit, universe, God, whatever the hell you want to call it, it's there. And when you stop trying to do it all yourself and take the weight of the world and your whole life off your shoulders and just kind of let that spirit guide, while understanding that like, it's up to you to take the actions. Like, if you intuitively feel like you have to make a phone call, you're going to have to make the phone call. Like, the universe isn't going to call them for you, but you get what I'm saying. Like, we are always being guided. We're always being seeded these visions that are designed to help us. Like, everything is designed to help us either, reclaim our personal responsibility, which means reclaiming our power. Because a lot of the time we just give our power away to like, oh, they're hurting me, so they have the power. Oh, I don't have any money because the government, so like they have the power. But it's actually a lack of responsibility on our part. Like, we would like to think that we don't have the power. And sometimes we are in these power struggles and we don't really, like, our power is being fucked with and is being stifled. And like, that's a thing. But at the same time, we are all responsible for the reclamation of that power, whether it needs a conversation needs to be had, whether a fucking tussle, nah, we're not there. But like, you get what I'm saying. Like, we have to stand up for ourselves. We have to defend ourselves. We have to have the conversations, ask for help, ask for what we need, or say like, hey, I fucking matter too. And like, yeah, like you're not going to treat me like that anymore. And it takes a lot of strength to walk through these challenges and to walk away from the victim mentality, the power struggles, the avoidance tendencies. Like, it's so much easier to just go pick up a joint, smoke some weed, and then go lay on the couch all day. Like, that's pretty easy. But if you really want to live a meaningful, purposeful, creative life, that's going to stifle you. And that's not going to help you evolve into your highest potential, because you are avoiding something. Because we're always in it. And I am one who is very, very like, chill, like, don't push yourself too much. Don't fucking hurt yourself. Don't overexert yourself, because I was such a like force of like, I gotta do everything for so long. And then I pendulum swung into like, nah, just chill, just smoke, just drink, whatever, it doesn't matter. I've been in both polarities, and literally the like with everything, the best place to be is just right smack dab in the middle. Like, indulge a little bit. This fucking human world is a lot. It's intense. Nervous systems be wildin' just by walking out on the street, like, so do the best you can with what you've got. But also remember that the challenge leaves you when it's meant to, and when the lesson is learned, and when you evolve into the version of yourself that understands that challenge, that understands why that challenge was there, what it was meant to teach you, and you've gained and extracted the wisdom codes out of that challenge. Like this challenge and this disconnection between my dad's side and me, like, I did just hold a lot of judgment, and I did just hold a lot of fear and misunderstanding and yada yada. But going through those challenges myself, now I see like from their shoes, and I see like they really were doing the best that they could. And if I was in their circumstances, I might have responded in the same way. So I think that's all I've got for you guys today. Whatever challenges you are in, you fucking got this. And also remember that we can't do it alone. A lot of the times, like I do feel very alone in my life, and it's sort of like a chosen solitude at this point. For a while, I was very burdened by having to go it alone and doing everything by myself, and I thought I had to do everything for myself and everyone else. I dated someone that I literally completely took care of for years, sacrificed my own needs, my own wants, my own well-being, everything, just to take care of that person and just to like give and be there for that person. And it absolutely fucking destroyed me. And I see now that like, yes, I will always be someone who like holds their own, like I hold my own. I got this. Like, I do carry the weight of my entire life on my own back. Like, there's no one helping me carry that, but I can handle it. And I'm more than capable to carry this weight, especially now that I'm not carrying anyone else's weight. Like, I don't know. Like, for a while I didn't believe in myself, and just, again, through all of these challenges, I really, really see that. And in that realization, help has come from these directions that like I never would have expected. Never, 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 ever. So trust that you don't have to do it all alone. You are more than capable to handle the weight that you have been given, but you also do want to lean on the support of this benevolent universe to take that path of least resistance, to take the easiest path so that you can step into these higher evolutions and keep evolving. And that same loving, benevolent universe will direct the love and support and the help that you need your way exactly when you need it, no sooner, no later, exactly on time. So trust your timing too. If you're just like really in it and feeling really burdened, like it is going to eventually end. The sun always rises again. And oftentimes we just have to put down the struggle or have a shift in headspace or just get out of whatever loop we're in. And the answers usually come, like go take a walk, take a little puff if you need to, like whatever it is, we're all figuring it out as we go. So sending y'all so much love. Peace and namaste.